All right, so question one, can you tell us about yourself? My name is Erika Downing. My school is Wayne County High School, where I am a math teacher. I specifically am teaching Algebra 1 support this year. So those are Algebra 1 classes on a block system, but it's a year-long class. My school is in Jessup, Georgia, and this is actually my first year at this school. It's my 13th year as a teacher, but first at Wayne County High School. Why did you start a career in education? So I originally went to Georgia Tech because I thought I wanted to be an engineer. And then I changed my mind about that because I enjoyed my math classes and not so much the science and application behind that. So then I switched to business, and I entertained the idea of working in corporate sports. While I was a student at Georgia Tech, I had an internship with the Atlanta Hawks, the professional basketball team, and Atlanta Thrashers, the professional hockey team. And I did not enjoy that job. And so after I graduated and got my business degree, I thought, well, I tutored in high school. I tutored my peers in math, and actually my high school paid me to do this. And I had a lot of success with it, and I really enjoyed it. So I thought, well, let's try teaching and see if that I like it. And if I like it, I'll stick with it. And if not, then, I can find something else that I would like. And yeah, I started teaching in 2009, and I enjoyed it. And I really fell in love with the profession, and I have continued until today. If you could have any other job, what would it be and why? If I could do anything else, I'm a math person, and I love statistics, and I love sports. So I would think that I would like to work for ESPN or some other major sports channel where I'm that person behind the scenes during games, putting the statistics for the players and the teams together and things like that. I think I would really enjoy that. Question 4, how are kids their major sports channel where I'm that person behind the scenes during games, putting the statistics for the players and the teams together and things like that. I think I would really enjoy that. Question 4, how are kids different now than 30 years ago? Well, 30 years ago, I was only 7 years old. So I don't remember what the classroom was like when I was in first or second grade. But I'm assuming just because it's been a difference since I was in high school and I graduated in 2002 to now is the attention span has really changed. The expectation was to really just listen to a lecture every single day when I was in high school and do a little bit of practice, and the rest was at home. And that worked more because without the technology, our cell phones, then I felt like we could overall pay attention better. I feel like now, because of cell phones and just, scrolling on apps and switching from app to app and looking at 30-second TikTok videos, that attention spans really just are not where they used to be. So those longer lectures are not as effective as they used to be. So I would probably say that's the difference. Although, again, I was only 30 years ago. How is teaching different? Well, like I just mentioned, my teachers used to be able to just pretty much lecture, and then we would do the practice on our own, and that was that. Now I feel like because the attention span is so much shorter, we have to kind of break that up and do other activities or do like formative assessments when we're teaching to make sure, that students are paying attention. I feel like we have to incorporate more games. We have to be a lot more engaging with the material because otherwise their attention is not on a lecture for that long. So we have to incorporate basically more fun things, more hands-on things in order for them to learn the material and be successful in my class and know the standards and the content. What do you right now that is thinking about becoming a teacher? Well, if they're thinking about becoming a teacher right now, they need to definitely be proficient in technology because we are using technology more than ever. It'll be more than what it was when they were in high school as a student. And then secondly, I would tell them it's hard. Teaching is very hard. It is very challenging right now between, the pandemic and then Each week we might have a different schedule. For me, we've been on hybrid, we've been on virtual, we've been all in person. So it is definitely challenging right now. I mean, it's challenging in general. It's not an easy profession. It is not something, if you care, if you truly want what's best for the kids, then it is not going to be easy for you. But at the same time, it is one of the most rewarding, if not the most rewarding profession that you can be a part of. I look back over my career of 13 years and I would tell them the lives that I feel like I have impacted and the differences that I feel like I've made in the lives of young people. Well, that's priceless. You can't put money on that. And so I would tell them it's hard, it's challenging. They need to understand how to, work with technology. But again, it is the most rewarding profession. There is no better feeling than knowing you've made a difference in the life of a child for the better. What is one thing you would change to help kids learn better? Oh boy, I think honestly, I'm not a fan of standardized tests at all. I feel like if a teacher is doing what they're supposed to be doing and teaching the standards like they're supposed to be teaching, then there is no need for a standardized test. I just don't like the pressure of a standardized test because there's enough pressure just to get those standards in. I think it makes the environment more stressful at school. You don't want your kids to be stressed. And I feel like, especially for the younger ages, my son has just started middle school. As an elementary school student, I mean, they would stop learning a month before school is out because they take that test and they feel like they're done. I mean, that's a month that my child could have continued to learn something, just because the test is done doesn't mean that instruction should be finished. So I just feel like the standardized tests, they're really not helpful. If a teacher is teaching the standards like they are supposed to be teaching and held accountable by their admin that they are teaching those standards, then the standardized test shouldn't really happen. It's not important because if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then your grades will reflect the mastery of your students with the content that they're working with. So that's what I would change to help kids learn better, take away that pressure of the EOC so you can really maximize instruction from the beginning of the year all the way to the end. And I think that is all of the questions.